What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? My name is Nathan. I am one half of your Heel Brothers, and we have gotten finally to the semifinals of the ACC tournament as the North Carolina Tar Heels are coming off a dominant and just beat down of a win over Florida State in the quarterfinals. But from one dog walk to a slugfest we go, as the North Carolina Tar Heels are set to face the 4-seeded Pittsburgh Panthers in the semifinals. And I'm not going to lie, this game looks to potentially be an absolute slugfest back and forth. Toughness will prevail in this game for either team who shows it more. The Pittsburgh Panthers are coming off a big win over the Wake Forest Demon Deacons in order to secure themselves a spot in the semifinals against the Tar Heels. The last time these two teams faced off was in Pittsburgh, and the end score happened to be 70-57. And the game was a back and forth tug of war all the way through half. It took RJ Davis knocking down a buzzer beater, Seth Trimble knocking down a buzzer beater throughout that game in order for the Tar Heels to stay with Pittsburgh in the early going. But in the second half, the Tar Heels were able to separate themselves and get a big win over Pittsburgh. But we cannot discount this Pittsburgh team, as they are a team that looks to put their stamp in this ACC tournament. This is a good team they have over there. Their stat leaders over there are Blake Henson with 18 points per game, Ishmael Leggett with 5 rebounds per game, and Carlton Carrington with 4 assists per game. The season leaders for the Tar Heels have not changed, as RJ Davis leads us in scoring with 21 points per game, Armando Bacot with 10 rebounds per game, and Elliot Cadeau with 4 assists per game. The two teams stacked up against each other, there's quite a difference between them, as Pittsburgh comes in only scoring 75 points per game on 43% shooting, 37 rebounds, 13 assists, 4 blocks, and 6 steals. And the North Carolina Tar Heels come in scoring 81 points per game on 45% shooting, 40 rebounds, 14 assists, 4 blocks, and 5 steals. The key really to this game is toughness. Toughness displayed and toughness shown and toughness throughout this entire game is going to ensure one of these two teams a win in the semifinals and a spot in the conference championship on Saturday night. Both teams seemingly don't like each other too much. We all know, especially during the football season, that Pittsburgh always brings the toughness, the energy, and it's always a hard game for the Tar Heels. Well, they've transferred that energy over to the basketball season as well. But this time, North Carolina this season also has that same toughness and grit and tenacity. And I personally think out of the two matchups that you could have gotten, whether it be Pitt or Wake Forest, I am more happy with the Pitt pick, honestly, just because the scoring primarily is going to come through Blake Henson. And we've saw that consistently. We saw that a couple of seasons ago, last season, as Pitt was able to score a victory in one of the two matchups over North Carolina. And also, earlier this year when they faced off up there in Pittsburgh, Blake Henson was able to do his thing and score until North Carolina was able to find an answer, and then Carrington had to step up for the team, and he can also score as well. So the scoring is going to come primarily between one of two guys, either that being Henson or Carrington, and I feel like right now, with the way this team's playing defense, they're going to get after it. But Carolina offensively is going to be challenged. We all thought, at least I did it, when they played Florida State, that they were going to be challenged offensively. And in the early going, they absolutely were. But North Carolina was using their defense and their toughness to create themselves some great looks on the transition for offense and able to score in bunches that way. That's the same exact thing they're going to need to do right here against Pittsburgh. I don't foresee Pittsburgh just leaving the lane wide open for an offensive rebound for Armando or Harrison or anybody. I don't foresee that happening. We'll see. I didn't really foresee it happening on Florida State. They proved me wrong. But North Carolina's going to have to get out here and basically repeat exactly what they did against Florida State to beat this Pittsburgh team. And honestly, I think the two guys that step out the most, in my opinion, the two key factors for this team to win against Pittsburgh tomorrow is Elliot Cadeau. And I like the way that kid's playing. Elliot Cadeau is playing some just amazing basketball right now. He has learned so much, and he has grown so much since that opening game that I saw him in the Dean Dome, my personal self, playing against Radford all the way to now. He's hustling after the ball. He's getting it. He's found his offensive rhythm. He understands, when to pass the ball. He understands the passing lanes. He can make the hard passes. He can see the floor better than anybody else on the court, in my opinion, outside of maybe Harrison Ingram, maybe. But he is key, and he is going to have to get out there and do the same exact thing and bother Leggett and Carrington. His defense has gotten a little bit better as well. He's not just some pushover anymore. He's created a problem for teams defensively right now. And the other one, I think, is Cormac Ryan. Cormac's found a shot. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but he has absolutely found his shot. And since that's happening, he's starting to score in bunches, and it's also starting to spread the floor more, which means Pitt's going to have to, hesitate or think twice about sending a double team to somebody because, hey, that guy can hit a three, or that guy can hit a three, or that guy can streak and get a wide open layup, or that guy can cut and create some space. Who knows? Carolina is going to have to set the tone with their toughness once again in order to get away with a pretty big win over Pittsburgh, to get away for a win in general over Pittsburgh. I do think Carolina is going to come out with a win here. I do expect them to be in the conference championship game on Saturday night against somebody we will see at that point in time. Currently, as I'm recording this, the Duke-NC State game is going on, and NC State's up 41-32 as we speak right now. Hopefully, I'm recording this in the middle of an upset. That would be amazing and may even potentially guarantee a North Carolina championship. Maybe I'm jumping the gun. Who knows? I could be just spitballing here by the time you guys see this, but tell me what you guys think down there in the comments. Let me know. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you like what you see. Come hang out with us. Cover the ACC, the rest of the ACC tournament with us, and also hop in to our March Madness bracket. We're doing a whole bracket on the ESPN tournament bracket app, I think it's called. And if you hop in there and you go through the whole bracket and you end up being in the top 3, you're going to win some prizes down there. Go to the community page for our YouTube channel, and you can see all the terms that apply with it, and you guys can hop in there as of today. Be sure and go over there and hop over there and potentially win free stuff for any sports team that you want to. Anything. You can win some free gear of your choosing, not mine. I just set a limit for you. You're choosing. You can pick that. So real quick before we get out of here, I got to give you guys a score prediction. Well, as I'm looking at the ESPN page right now, North Carolina and Pittsburgh don't have odds. They don't have, favorability, anything right now. But I'm going to favor North Carolina by 10 points. You can't do it to me once. If you guys watched the Florida State thing, you guys know that I said, they were favored 10.5, and I said, ain't no way they're gonna do that. This has been a back and forth game. The series has been back and forth. There's no way they're gonna do this. Well, they made believers out of me. They absolutely made believers out of me. I can't count them out no more. So I think North Carolina wins this game 83-70. 83-70 is my score for this game, and honestly, I think maybe that's a little bit too much for Pittsburgh. We'll see. They could surprise me because they have two guys who can also score, but I like my chances. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here, and as always, go Heels.
You don't want none.